first of all, like, it would be good for me and bad for you. And there would probably be something brought up in the back or in the real world about why is there a discrepancy of $4 million when we're both in the main event? And do I have more star power than you have? Quite possibly. A shoot is real life. A shoot is real.
I mean, how many more times are we going to hear about Bash at the Beach and the Hogan heel turn? But now it's like, oh, I wasn't going to do the heel turn. It's like, I don't think it's dementia. I think he just sees it a certain way in his head.
Well, I mean, we'll never know, I guess. But there's so many people that say he fabricates the truth. And then he comes back and is like, no, no, no. It's like, who do you believe? Okay, maybe one or two people, but there's 97,000 people saying he's a liar.
Right, exactly. And remember, Bischoff said on the what do you call it? Dark Side about Starrcade that Hogan vehemently said, "We're not losing to Sting tonight, brother. I'm not doing it because Sting doesn't have the passion. I see it. He can't. He's not going over after all that stuff." And they had to come up with that convoluted finish to keep him strong.
Yeah.
So maybe he's out there.
Maybe he believes that that's not utilizing his power. He's just having a conversation. You think? I don't know.
I don't know. He just comes up with doozies left and right. But again, Logan Paul, he's got these great guests because of who he is. But sometimes he exposes his wrestling acumen. Like, when did he become a fan? When did he start? Yeah. Watching, what does he know about the business? Is he just in it because he's athletic and he started watching at some point? So I'm going to pull up a clip that's from the podcast that I think it's funny. And I would love to hear your take on it from now a guy who's making millions and millions of dollars from professional wrestling.
Uh-huh.
So Hogan's starting to tell him a story, right? And he says something about making money. And the two guys, all right, just take a look at this.
What? You got to realize, bro, this is not a work, okay? This is a shoot.
What?
The business is a shoot. Everybody's going to tell you it's a work. It's not a work.
What do you mean?
The business is a shoot.
I don't know if I understand.
If I wrestle you right now,
yeah,
and Vince pays you $1 million and he pays me $5 million, is that a work or a shoot?
I don't know. I don't think I know the terms.
Let him explain it.
Oh, you don't know the terms?
What is a shoot? What is shoot? I know a work. What is a shoot?
He's not. He's serious.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Okay. Thank you.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's not.
You embarrassed him. Okay, that's fine. How about this? Can you explain it to our audience at home quickly that doesn't understand?
I blew it.
Shut up. He's going to explain it to the audience. Logan,
no, stop.
Logan knows what this means. No, Logan knows what it means, but maybe just explain it to our audience at home.
What the hell did I just watch?
He has no clue what Hulkster's talking about.
He doesn't know what a shoot means?
He has no clue. Could you explain what the Hulkster just said to Logan Paul?
If I'm making $5 million and you're making $1 million, and that's a shoot. First of all, like, it would be good for me and bad for you. And there would probably be something brought up in the back or in the real world about why is there a discrepancy of $4 million when we're both in the main event? And do I have more star power than you have? Quite possibly. A shoot is real life. A shoot is real. A work is a fake thing. It's a work. It's not real. A shoot is a real thing. There would be a fallout over that discrepancy. Right?
Yeah, he has no friggin' clue what Hogan's talking about, though.
Well, I mean,
this guy's been on the last 2 WrestleManias. He has no idea.
Because he's probably making $85 billion and doesn't even care what anyone else is making.
He had no clue, and he was just listening to him like,
Yeah.
And then Hogan goes, it kind of dipped out when he said, he goes, "You bullshitting me?" Like Hogan was dead serious, and he's like, "What?
Well,
no, I'm messing with you." And then the guy was like, "No, you're not." he totally blew up his spot. He had no clue what he was talking about. But oh my God, like I just couldn't believe that. Like nobody sat him down and was like, basic terms 101, millionaire WWE superstar who has all these things now afforded to him because of your association with wrestling. Like, we're just going to tell you the basics so you don't sound like a just blithering idiot when you're in the presence of somebody like Hulk Hogan.
See, I would have been like, yeah, but you're Hulk Hogan, so you're going to get more money than Joe Schmo because you brought him to the dance, right? Like, I would have picked it apart and explained why Hulk Hogan was getting more money than the other guy. Just because I guess I know the business better than Logan Paul. I don't know. I
thought that was the funniest
he looked a little confused.
I mean, just his face.
Do you understand, though, how many times that's happened in real life? One guy would make so much more than the other, and they're both in the main event. That's why you never tell anybody what you're making. These guys that are braggadocious and I'm making this amount and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if it's leaked, all right. But don't tell anybody what you're getting. Ever. I never talked about money because I was making more than some of the guys were. And I knew it. And I knew I was going to get heat. So I just kept my big mouth shut.
Without using names, for no heat whatsoever, have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it backstage where it turned into a brawl between guys for money in a main event, or them talking about it, or get somebody talking about it or bragging and somebody having to take them outside or something to show them the business? No,
not in ECW. I didn't know. But I know there were discrepancies. I know certain people were making more than others, and it really wasn't fair. But it's the deal that you work out.
Right.
It's you and your boss. You can't be blamed for getting X amount of dollars. If you don't like what you're making, go to the boss and say, I need more money. It's as simple as that. And if he doesn't give it to you, you either tuck your tail between your legs and continue, or you go somewhere else where you can make more money.
Right.
You know, you can't blame the talent. Like we talked about with Swerve, with that huge deal. Who can blame him? Get your money. Anybody blaming him is just jealous. You know, like if I was offered that, oh my God, thank you. Yes, please. You know, and
absolutely.
My lips would have been sealed. I'm not saying that he went around telling people, because stuff leaks. I get it. In this day and age, nothing is sacred. You can't keep a secret. Everybody finds out your personal business, you know. But back in the day, like, you only heard about what people made is if they told you. And I had people come up to me saying, well, I'm only making this amount of money. And that's when I'm just like, oh crap, I'm making double what you're making, and you're a dude. And if I open my mouth, I'm going to be in trouble, you know? But then Paul would tell me who's in the main event every show.
Right.
You know, who's on top every show. Because I felt bad. And I was just like, I'm not open my mouth. And I never did. I never told anyone what I made. So it's just, you have to deal with yourself and get yourself over. And if you don't fight for what you think you deserve, you're not going to get it. Point blank. But Logan Paul doesn't care because he was a millionaire before he started.
Yeah.
So what does he care? Does he need to be smartened up to this? No. I mean, if he's going to talk about it and have a podcast, he should be, but he doesn't. I'm telling you, he doesn't care what other people make. He's rich. If I was rich and went into something, and I wouldn't care either. I don't really think, I mean, I don't know the kid, but I don't really think he's doing it for the money. I think he's doing it because he just enjoys doing it.
Right. He woke up one day. He woke up one day and he was like,
but does he need the money? Does he need this money? Wasn't he a billionaire before or a millionaire before he started?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then there you go. He doesn't. He's not fighting with anyone because so and so sold more T-shirts than he did. He doesn't care. Man, just let him flip flop around and call it a day. You know, I think it's kind of endearing that he didn't know what it meant. He's not tarnished by the business.
Yeah, it's a good point. That is a good point. You know, and maybe that the guys aren't kind of jading him by telling him a lot of the stuff, maybe, you know,
they're not telling him. They're not telling him anything, you know.
Because like, yeah, maybe he'd be paranoid.
He might be, you know, but I don't really think it would benefit him to know because he probably just doesn't care. He's rich, bitch.
But also, too, this could also be because the guys don't hang out in the locker rooms. They all got buses.
Oh, yeah, some of them do, right?
Right. So maybe that's it. I mean, maybe these guys could benefit from hanging out in a locker room and talking about the business.
Sometimes it's better not to know. It keeps his nose clean. He doesn't get in trouble. You know what I mean? He can't talk dirt on anyone. Like sometimes it's just better to be oblivious, I feel.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't blame him for not knowing. I don't think he's dumb. Look at him. He's on top of the world. He's a smart kid, you know. But if you're going to do a podcast, maybe, you know, maybe, I mean, he probably didn't know that Hogan was going to bring that up like that. But, you know, when I was in ECW and they would try to talk carny to me, I'd be lost. And I would get heat for it. I can't believe you don't know carny. I'm like, dude, English is my first language. I'm so sorry. There were certain words that I knew in carny that I could pass by the skin of my teeth. I could pass by in a conversation, but I'd be lost by the second, third sentence. It sounded like gibberish to me. And I never knew what the hell anyone was talking about. Could have been burying me for all I know. I was sitting there like, I had no clue. So
you didn't score high on the carny section of the SATs?
No, man. I failed Carney 101 for sure.